Hello, and welcome to the Dead Unicorn. Role-playing game club. My name is Tarek, and today we're playing Outlaws of Alkenstar. I want to introduce you to our players, Logan, Sasha, Crystal, Victor, and Corey. Before we start, I'd like to thank our patrons scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Thanks for keeping the lights on. We really appreciate all that you do for us. And with that done, let's go ahead and begin.
All right.
Okay, all of y'all have arrived inside of the Barrel and Bullet Saloon. You have been watching a play on the big stage. I will go ahead and show y'all a fun little picture of the bar y'all are in. Here we go. Barrel and boom.
There we go.
I'm assuming everybody can see that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, on stage, you hear draw, bang, as a gunshot fires off with a crack of thunder that fills the air. The smoking gun, held by a powerfully built orc man wearing leather chaps, a vest, and a shiny sheriff's badge, holds everyone's attention. The orc slowly lowers his firearm, stowing it back in his holster. He carefully and deliberately walks up to the bloody dwarf, surveying his handiwork. I'm sorry it had to go down this way, brother. You picked the wrong side, and that I cannot abide. He removes his pinched front hat, holding it over his heart. After a moment, he lowers his head. The entire saloon erupts in applause as the pianist begins to play. The orc bows deeply, then helps the dwarf to his feet, who also bows to the attending patrons. The two walk to the bar, arm in arm, and order a bottle of whiskey. Thank you for attending. A female dwarf stands at the top of the bar, addressing the patrons in a loud voice. Whiskey is only 2 silver for the next hour, and that includes top shelf. Come back next week for the conclusion of Hearts at High Noon and our after party. Now enjoy yourselves. The dwarf woman Phoebe Dunsmith hops off the bar onto a sawdust-covered floor and heads to a back room where a round table and private bar awaits. She props up one foot on the stool, leans forward on her knee, and casts a suspicious eye around the room. Now that show is over, let's talk business. I brought you all here because we share some common enemies. With your help, I can make them pay and get you rich in the process. But first, I want you to tell me why you deserve a job that could pay your weight in gold. I'd like each of you to go around the table, starting with Logan. Introduce your character, give us a little bit of information about who they are, what they look like, and any details about their backstory that you think might be pertinent to share with the group. Especially if you have any common grudges held toward either the cutthroat mogul Ambrose Mugland or the corrupt shield marshal Deputy Angelique Lovelace.
All right, I'll be playing Benjamin Carmichael, or the Barber, a former now gun smuggler and general outlaw. Tried to keep his hands clean for the most part, but can't always do that. He is a tall, slender, very professional, gentlemanly kind of look, with a very, very pale skin, and white, almost salt and pepper hair, big bushy beard and mustache, and a full head of hair. He does definitely have a grudge out on both of those named characters, Mugland and Lovelace, because they were the cumulative fall of his business and all of his assets.
All right. Does the barber share any of this information about his smuggling business in the past, or how he got to this point during his introduction to the group?
Given the immediate company and the past relations you've had with them, it's probably fairly open about that information. Yeah.
Okay. So you will all know about him being a gun smuggler, who got busted by the combination of both Mugland and Lovelace. By the way, this is what the woman who has called you all here looks like. She is the owner of this here bar. We'll go ahead and go on to Azura next.
You will see before you a young-looking kitsune woman, so a humanoid fox, red fox coloration. She's dressed in pretty common, plain-looking clothes. Nice but not fancy. Gun sword at her hip. And she says, "Hi, y'all. My name is Azura. And, well, it was Angelique who has fingered me as an outlaw. I don't know what I did to earn her ire, but here we are. And so far as her and, what was his name? Her and Mugland are concerned, they're both too big for their britches, in my opinion. I don't like either of them."
Here, here. That's what Dunsmith says from as she's kind of stalking the room.
Well, y'all probably know by now that I'm a gunsmith. Little bit of alchemy on the side. And I never done nothing too bad. Just want to clear my name.
Why ain't you just so sweet? She goes ahead and points at Malcolm.
Right. Standing before you is none other than Malcolm Embers, a rather imposing half-orc figure. You can tell he's a half-orc because his tusk exit through the sides of his mouth, and although he has a very unique look, similar to that of a tiefling, the thing that gives him away as a fire genasi, or rather a... Let me look up the race again. A Nari, is the glowing orange eyes on his face, very much like a candle lit in the dark. He has his hair drawn back, wearing some pretty ragged clothes, all things considered. Like it's they've been worn out through a lot of use. Currently, he is also wearing a bandana covering half his face, alongside a bowler hat which hangs off of one of his horns. As you all introduce each other and as the torch is passed on to him, he kinda grunts, and after a slight bit of hesitation, some silence, he speaks. "I am Malcolm. I have worked for Mugland until he sold me out. I have a grudge against him. That is all."
Simple as.
All right, indeed. And how about you, Father Padre?
First, before my character speaks, I'm going to point out, I'm going to go back to this picture of the bar. And they said top shelf. The top shelf is so high up Just want to point this out. Do they got like a ladder, like one of those librarian ladders?
Of course.
What you actually see is a bunch of tall orcs throwing goblins up there.
they just have them climb up.
Yeah.
Thank you. I needed to like point that out before I continue because it was bothering me.
No, yeah, it
notice
is
that
very
it was
tall. This
very
is
high.
it's actually a very large establishment and pretty fancy considering it's in Ferris Quarter.
So Father Ur is he's a humble man. He is a devout follower of Bri. And because of that, he keeps his holy symbol close. He's incredibly devout. He holds Bri's favored weapon is a light hammer. And he does carry one of those. He likes to use a giant gear, one of those spinning hammers that you see inside of clocks, and he uses that as a mace. But he doesn't ever use that as a weapon. He doesn't strike out in anger unless he really, really has to, because he's a kind heart and soul. It's more like an adornment for him. You know, like those old scepters that kings would have. He has that as his priestly adornment. He wears a skull cap. He's a younger man. Well, he's not that young. I mean, he's in his like mid-20s. And he wears a metal skull cap and a long flowing robe. And he always has a hymnal book nearby and will hum a jaunty little tune in the name of his deity. And he will address, what is she, a gnome or a halfling?
She's a dwarf.
She's a dwarf. See, they all look...
Yeah, I posted it. Look in the chat in the VTT, and you'll see Phoebe Dunsmith. That's how you spell her name for everybody's reference.
Right.
And dwarf bartender.
Sorry, I was looking at character sheets so I could get everybody's picture out to the public.
Yeah, no worries.
I didn't see that. Thank you. He says, kindly, Miss Dunsmith, it is with great displeasure that Mr. Muglin has just slandered my reputation, has kicked me, gotten me excommunicated, all because I would not build him a device that he wanted that could be used for nefarious purposes, and I will not do that. Bri's talents, the objects that we create in her name, are sacred, and they are meant to build a better world. Now, most of my compatriots, most of my peers within the church, they cloister themselves behind workbenches. And me, I'm a man of the people. And I want to bring the spirit of Bri to everyone. And this sometimes doesn't sit well with the higher-ups. I seem like, I don't know, maybe they see me as egotistical, maybe they see me as a tryhard. I'm only trying to bring the light of Bri to everybody's... I'm trying to make it accessible to everybody, and not just the scholars that can build. Because, Miss Dunsmith, we are all but cogs in Bri's great illustrious machine. And sometimes the machine needs a little work. And I'm here to work on that.
Point that just poetical. Thank you so much, Padre. Why don't you go ahead and preach to the brightness of the Lord? And our illustrious friend here. She gestures over toward the Morgan.
So the woman that she's pointing to is a very tall young woman who has this almost elven appearance, but there are many obvious things that are very different. Her eyes are like gray and pupilless, and crowning the top of her head is a crystalline horn that like glows faintly. And whenever she shifts in her chair, hooves peek out from behind her dress. Not to mention the very deep blue skin that is covered with faint silver swirls. She's very quiet and has just been listening, but when Phoebe mentions her, she puts her elbows out on the table and leans forward and says, it seems like everyone here has a bone to pick. With Lovelace, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't understand the sentiment. Though you could call my problems with Lovelace a bit more personal. I would do almost anything to see her 6 feet under. So if that means working with all of you, then I'm sure that can be arranged. Whatever is needed, really. Nice to see you again, Phoebe.
And also you. Forrester! Forrester, get the food! She says as she slides the final shot of whiskey over toward the Morgan. Each one, in case you didn't catch it in the chat, as each person finishes their introduction, she poured out a shot of fine whiskey and slid the glass over to each one of you as you finished in turn. And then she goes, all right, now here's the game. Dunsmith says, Ambrose Muglin has a decent portion of his funds invested in an old bank called the Gold Tank Reserve. It's a rundown temple of Abadar in Ironside Quarter that's mostly used by ranchers and crooked politicians. I happen to know they've sent half their clockwork handlers out for maintenance and won't have them back until tomorrow afternoon. This is our one chance to hit Muglin where it hurts. All you have to do is bust up the few clockworks remaining, get the vault key from the bank manager, and fill a sack full of gold. Once you're done inside the bank, just run out the back. There's an alleyway out there that you can get right back over into the streets from and make your way down here. Muglin's got a few crooked shield marshals on his payroll now, including that damn bastard Deputy Lovelace. She and her goons are sure to be hot on your trail once you're done. But don't fight them. They'll gun you down in a second without a second's thought, if you give them even the slightest chance. Just run away, and they'll look like fools. Nothing sure to fry the deputy's egg like crooks she can't catch. Trust me. You can lose them in the Whaling Scrapyard, just west of the reservoir. Just west of the reserve. There's a sewer entrance within the scrapyard. From there, it's just a straight shot back to the saloon where you'll be safe. Got any questions?
Yes.
One.
Oh,
Go ahead.
please. No. You go first. I have to read something on my character sheet to just make certain of something, but so you go first.
One. I know you're a dear, Phoebe, but what's in this for you? What's your cut?
Well, all of our cuts is going to be 10% each. I keep the rest to cover costs and fund the next part of the plan to take down Muglin. But each one of you is going to get 10%. I think that's fair.
And how exactly much coin are we expecting that to be?
However much we can get in the sack.
Effectively, yeah. As much as you might be able to fit. I don't know exactly how much is going to be in that old vault they got, but I'm sure that they've got enough to make sure that we'll be taken care of for the next leg of the job.
Interesting.
Okay, where is this book? I do have one question. And I think, yeah, I gotta look it up in the book. There's a book I gotta look up stuff in. Ah,
Okay.
my god, Bry. Where is this god? Because I believe that destroying any clockwork creations might be an anathema to my deity, and therefore it is something that I cannot do, or I must make amends in order to, like, do general clerical things. I do
Father,
want this person to suffer. Well, I don't want the person to suffer. I want him brought to justice. Here it is. Bry. Anathema. Carelessly destroying others' creations or research, enslave intelligence constructs, abuse constructs, refuse to acknowledge or learn from mistakes. So
Father, didn't your church excommunicate you?
the church may no longer have me in their heart, but I still have Bry in mine. I do not turn
Well-
my back on my deity just because some of her followers have been lied
Well,
to.
if it helps, you don't have to be the one to destroy any of the constructs. One and two, these constructs work for Muglin. He had them specially created to guard his banks and his interests. They aren't the most sophisticated models, and half of them are already gone. So if y'all figure out another way to get them distracted, then maybe you don't have to even worry about it.
A little bit of repair, a little bit of grease, and perhaps these clockwork creations can come around.
I don't know. They're pretty straightforwardly programmed. Give me a what kind of knowledges do you have? Let me pull up the party sheet real quick.
Proficiencies.
Overview.
Crafting.
Recall knowledge.
Crafting.
Recall knowledge. Give me a recall knowledge crafting check.
Recall knowledge. It's just crafting.
Yeah, exactly. But it's for the usage of recall knowledge.
Okay. Oh, is that an action? Recall knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find that. Let me do it correctly. And there's nothing for me to click here. Oh, wait, there it is. Nope, that just puts that there. Okay, I'll just go to the skill.
Yeah, crafting
And
skill.
click
recall
the
knowledge.
skill. Attribute, yes. Roll it +3. And I rolled a 1.
Okay. As far as you're concerned, these are completely non-intelligent creatures, non-intelligent constructs, and their programming is probably so poor because they weren't created by a Temple of Bry or the engineers of Bry that they probably won't even be a problem. They probably are so poorly built that they may not even have the intelligence to notice y'all. It's probably just the decoy that that Muglin is used to kind of scare off petty thieves. But they're probably not going to cause any problems.
So, praise be to Bry that these creations might not even recognize us as threats. Perhaps we can find a way to get around them. And if we do break one, hopefully we can put it back together in the spirit of friendship.
She gives you a wide eye and is just like, yeah, sure. They might be so poorly made that they don't even count as real constructs, right?
That's not a thing.
Okay, well, you can't fault me for trying. Any other questions you guys have? Feel free to throw them out.
Malcolm looks at Phoebe and kind of crosses his arms and furrows his brow and says, "Can we be sure you're not going to sell us out?"
Me sell you guys out?
If
Come
she
on.
sells us out, she doesn't get her 50%.
Exactly. And then I lose my establishment. What do I got to gain from selling you out?
Hmm. I suppose you're right.
My big concern
That
is
being
whether I
said-
can trust all of you. So before we get into the details of what happens next after any kind of events of the heist, I need to know that each and every one of you is someone I can trust. So let's focus on making sure we get this job done before we start talking about who we can trust, who we can't trust, and whether there's going to be a future in all of these activities.
He kind of nods. And then he says, "Where is this bank located?" Which part of Smokeside?
It's inside Ironside Quarter, on the far west side of town. You gotta make your way in there, which let's just say it's not the for any of you who haven't been around that side of town, not the nicest place in the world.
So it's Ironside's quarters. There's no there's little tags everywhere except for Ironside Quarter.
Ironside Quarter has a tag.
Well, I mean, so there's these little like things you can hover over 'em, like Hotfoot Hippodrome and the Twin Tower Hydroforge, and if you double click them, you get a whole cool thing about it, and like where it is in the mana waste and all sorts of cool stuff.
You just have to.
That's true, but this is a minor
something?
minor building, so it doesn't have a representation on.
Oh no, that just opens the Outlaws of Alkenstar Player's Guide. Oh, there's so much in here. Look at this, notable people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It actually opens up different things for different people, so it'll open up different stuff for me than it will for y'all, as well.
All right, excellent day.
So Gold Tank Reserve is near the middle of the Ironside Quarter, right in front of the Wayland Scrapyard.
And what are we doing at the Gold Tank Reserve?
You're heisting it. You're busting in.
That's what we're... Okay.
And you're breaking open the vault, or at least trying to get the bank manager to open the vault for you. And then you're stealing it, taking everything you can. I mean, if you want, take everything you can from the desks and everybody else inside the places, if you really feeling lucky. Now, come on, don't you have questions about the job?
In fact, I do. I'm writing down some notes. So I get this straight.
I just didn't know if anybody else had any questions about it.
Okay. This bank.
Yeah.
The vault. Do we have a pass key? Do we have a knock scroll? Do we have... What do we have to get inside a vault?
Well, there's a bank manager there. You can... Look, it should be open during business hours, this vault. And the inside gate, well, that'll be locked. But the bank manager, a muggling crony named Dresh, has the keys. So just get the keys from Dresh, open the gate, grab the money, and get out.
Right.
Do we know anything about this bank manager?
Dresh?
Hmm?
Yeah, he's a coward. Or she's a coward. She's a short stack. Another door.
Seems pretty straightforward to me. Walk in, take out the constructs, give a little show of force, walk out. Is there any other pertinent information? Do we have a layout of the building, perhaps? Or any nearby vantage points?
I mean, I don't have a layout of the bank, no, but y'all should probably do some legwork ahead of time. Make sure you have a plan for how you're gonna hit this place, right?
That would be the idea.
Who is it's Dresh? You said is a she?
Dresh.
Thresh with a
Her
T?
name is Urkham Dresh, and I'll write it down in the chat.
Please do. So I can put that under enemies. And also I can make some rolls on that. Okay. We don't want to hurt anybody. But I am an outlaw now. What can I do with that? Is there anything you chaps would like to do before we get started? Because there is something I think would be rather important before I start this dastardly heist. Bang bang, I'm an outlaw.
You sure you're cut out for this, preacher?
No. But Bry willing, she has put me on the right path.
You know, you don't have to hurt anybody.
We are all I will not need to.
Well, I mean, there probably are going to be some people there at the bank. When it comes to Muglin's business, though, nobody's innocent. That said, best not go around killing anybody or taking hostages. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind taking his investors down a notch or two, but I can't abide working with a crew full of marauders that are as wicked as the devil himself.
We can't take that kind of heat.
Exactly.
Did she only mentioned Muglin? She didn't mention Lovelace.
She said she mentioned both, yeah.
She mentioned both. So I know what we have against Mugland and Lovelace, but what exactly is your issue with them? We've all shared with the class. I feel like
you
it's
mean
your turn
beside
now.
him being a greedy son of a gun who doesn't care who he steps on?
Absolutely.
Oh, I've got plenty of my own reasons to hate Muglin. Just don't you worry.
And Lovelace?
Well, she's a crooked officer. She's in Muglin's pocket and does his dirty work, all in the name of the law. And if you see a half-elf with blue-black hair and death in her eyes, you run. She's a crack shot with a bad attitude, and she does not miss. And she don't leave witnesses.
Do you have
Duly
a map?
noted.
Do you have a map of this bank or any such types of?
No, I don't have the map of the bank.
We'll probably have to go in as customers and try to get a lay of the place ourselves
There's
beforehand.
probably a bunch of different ways you can go about setting up for this thing, but I highly suggest you do some footwork along the way. Y'all got some time, like I said. The other half of the automatons ain't coming back till tomorrow afternoon. I wouldn't dilly-dally too long, but as long as you start getting down to business quick after this meeting, you should be able to spend some time doing all kinds of legwork.
And did I
What
hear
happens
you
during-
mention a whaling scrapyard? What exactly is that?
Dunsmith shrugs. Well, it's an old scrapyard from long time ago set up. Nowadays it's just haunted.
What
He
does it
says
have?
before throwing back the remainder of her shot of whiskey.
And what does it have to do with the heist?
It's in the back of the bank. Your way out. You get out the alley into the whaling scrapyard. Once you get through there, there's a sewer grate. You get into the sewers. You come back here.
Sewers.
So
Joy.
the scrapyard is just across an alley from the bank.
Yeah. As soon as you get out the back of the alley, there's an old like garden or something back there, and then an alleyway. You go through the alleyway to the west, and once you get a hop, skip, and a jump away, you'll be right at the Wayland Scrapyard. Once you get to the Wayland Scrapyard, you're gonna fight your way through there, well, I say fight, but you're gonna be fighting scrap and junk. Get your way through the junk. Try to hold your nose. Get into the sewer. Get back.
Did you say the Wayland scrapyard is haunted?
Yeah,
Look,
I heard
there's a
that
rumor
too.
it's haunted. It's probably just the nail gobblers, though. They live in the heaps, and if you need to resupply while you're there, you can probably trade with them. They're friendly enough. But if they offer you anything to eat, don't look at it too closely. Just hold your nose and swallow.
I forgot in Pathfinder. As a cleric, can I like turn
A goblin?
turn an undead?
Turn on.
I
Let
don't
me
think
see.
that is an ability for
Divine
you
font
right.
healing. No.
At least not yet. She brings up nail gobblers. Anybody who is familiar with the city. So, Malcolm,
Yes.
you can give me a lore Alkenstar check to recall knowledge about nail gobblers.
And I
Let's
suppose
see
I
here.
can too.
Or if anybody has lore underworld, I guess that would also work.
Oh no,
Right,
I don't have
I'm
Lore
rolling.
World.
Roll +4, normal.
So you have to have
That's a
lore
9.
for whatever?
Yeah, you'd have to have city lore, or you'd have to have lore of the underworld.
Okay, I have
Nice.
nothing.
Okay, Morgan, you've heard of a group called the Nail Gobblers. They are a group of goblins who mainly survive off of dealing in scrap and salvage. They are known to take people for all they're worth, basically, and are kind of petty criminals who live in scrapyards.
Okay.
You don't know too much about them, but
Right.
that's what you do know.
So how's the bank outside of business hours?
What was that?
How is the bank outside of business hours?
Well, outside of business hours, it'd be locked up tight with all those automatons patrolling still. You could probably still expect to have some of the shield marshals around, and you wouldn't be able to get into the vault at that point. Might as well bring explosives to try to blow open the vault because it won't be open anymore.
Right. Sounds like we should just walk on in and try to convince the bank manager to open the door.
See, that's what I was thinking about this bank manager, and the convincing part. Um, everybody has something they like, something that's important to them. I was going to go and talk to some people, friends. As a pastor, I know people and connections and things of that nature. And I was hoping to gather some information about our Dwarvis bank manager, Urkham Dresh. Maybe
Yeah,
she likes something, or there's someone that's important to her that we could use as leverage to make her give up the keys more readily.
maybe.
Bry willing.
Look, what I can say is that it ain't hard to get into the bank. You just walk on in through the front door, I'd reckon. And then you could get a key from one of the staff. Maybe. And then you can go in the back door. There is an employee entrance in the alley that connects to the junkyard. But I suggest that's how you make your escape.
Is anybody handy with a lockpick?
I'm decent with the lockpick.
Maybe we could try the employee entrance without a key.
One more question, though. Do you happen to know what kind of a door shuts off that vault? Like, is it a solid door? Is it bars?
The vault itself or the gate?
Well, both technically. So, there's a gate
The
and
bolt
then a
itself
vault?
is solid iron, about maybe 2 feet thick. Locking mechanism that's real complex. Uh, Probably bolts of iron that go into another ceiling compartment, and then the gate
Okay.
is again probably wrought iron or some kind of steel, uh, and it's locked up pretty tight. But as long as you have the key, you shouldn't have a problem. Though if you're trying to lockpick it, I don't know much about the details of the lock design.
Okay, okay.
Just that
So,
it's a small, like I said, it's a small bank. It used to be a temple of Abadar, uh, and they've since converted it. And the area, well, like I said, it's Ironside, so not many people there around. So you probably have a good chance of making noise even and not having to draw too much attention as long as you're quick before the shield marshals get turned on to it.
so we got a locked gate, and then we got a real sturdy locked vault.
Well, the vault door will probably be open during business hours. So as long as you go during business
Oh,
hours, it'll be wide open. Then you just got to get through the gate, which, in my
interesting.
opinion, all you need to do is shake down that bank manager, Dresh. I'm
And
telling you, she ain't much. I mean, she's a bit of a firecracker, but she ain't much. And I'm sure she value her life more than conflict. So you make her scared straight, she'll hand over those keys.
past however many clockworks there are, which
Oh,
is how many exactly?
yeah, there's usually about a half a dozen clockworks. Ballkirk model C47s.
Can I make a
Um,
crafting roll or a
yeah,
Brylor
you can make
roll?
a. Let me see here.
I got Brylor. I got crafting. I got.
Do you have engineering?
What is engineering?
I
That's
have
not a.
engineering.
You can roll me engineering. And Corey, I'll let you make a crafting roll,
Sure.
but at a slightly higher TM.
Mm, I'm guessing I'm just gonna hit that little D20 icon and then click the roll button at the bottom without doing anything else.
Yeah, just click the roll button near the thing, and you should be good.
Oh, that's a gangbuster roll.
Very nice roll.
Okay, Crystal, you know 100% the clockwork handlers that are constructs. They are mindless constructs. They have what is like basically a torch in their head, like a lantern that gets sealed on and off. They patrol. They're very basic program. They have very basic programming. They're there to defend the banks and like shop fronts. Um, they are extraordinarily like low levelly programmed to fight. They will fight anyone who like pulls weapons out in front of them, threatens the workers, like the staff or the customers at whatever location they're at to defend. And they're taught to chase, but only about 50 feet outside of whatever location they're guarding before they kind of give up and start making their way back. You figure it would probably be easy to draw them out of the area if you needed to, based on their kind of patrol patterns. But they have a ability to see 360 degrees around them while they're patrolling. So getting past them without them noticing is could probably be an issue.
But you said that most of them would be down for repairs.
All of them are going to be out of town, actually. Most of them. So normally there's about a dozen of them. Right now there would be about a half dozen. Also, they're not incredibly like strong fighters, though they can hold their own in a group. And they are like guard people, so you've heard tell that they have like sirens they can pull off or like signals that they can give to try to alert shield marshals to the area. And you have heard tell that they can in fact hogtie people and drag them around. Corey, you would know a little bit about the basics that I gave, like their shape, their like common shape, their low level programming, and the fact that they patrol often in places that they want business owners want to guard.
The first thing that needs to happen then is I need to cast Mystic Armor and make sure it's on myself.
How long does it last?
All day.
Fantastic. You might want to do that then.
Yes.
I will relay what I know to the crew. Okay, y'all. These clockwork guards, they're not too bright. And, they mostly just are guards. You know, they'll attack anybody who looks like they're being threatening. Weapons. They will give chase, but not very far out of their area. And we can expect them to put up a fight, but not necessarily a real strong one. It might be more dangerous that they could set off an alarm and bring the police down on us.
Can anybody cast a silence spell? I don't think I have that one.
Not
No.
me.
No. But I can summon an instrument that could maybe drown out their alarm.
Now, I feel like that might just defeat the purpose of
Extra
trying to keep
noise?
quiet.
Yeah, more noise, yeah. Is that an alarm? No, it's just a flute.
Is that an alarm? No, it's just in the CD I'm playing.
And
Don't you-
about the sewer?
That's the
Is there
freaking
anything
worst.
we should be discussing about that?
Well, I say the sewer will be the least of your worries. Long as you get a map from those nail gobblers, you'll be back here sipping whiskey with me in no time.
I expect I'll
I'll
want
save
some
some fire
whiskey
whiskey for you
afterward.
if you do. What's that?
I expect I'll want some whiskey afterward.
I bet you would. Nobody likes being in the sewer for that long. But don't worry, I'll keep some fire whiskey prepped up for you when you get back.
Speaking of whiskey, the Morgan slides her shot of whiskey over to the barber, taps it with a finger, and says nothing.
He puts it down.
I hate
Right.
immediately.
Right then, no more questions, I'm assuming, or anything else y'all want to ask me about?
Crystal said something that pushes my buttons. When there's an alarm or a siren on a CD, and we're in a piece
In
of
a
music,
song,
in a
yeah.
song, and you're driving, and that happens, and you're just like,
Ah, where's the ambulance?
it's the worst. I think I'm good to go here. I have all the information I need on this.
Yep, sounds like
Okay.
anything else needs to be answered in the field.
Now that y'all all have asked your questions, food will arrive. Y'all can partake of it. While y'all are doing that, she gets up, leaves the room. Everybody can give me perception checks.
Because there's a grenade on the table. No.
Roll perception. That was the skill I didn't see in my
It's on the far left side of your character sheet.
where it says initiative.
Yeah.
What
So we roll initiative.
do I click to
No,
roll it?
perception.
Oh, I see it.
You just roll perception. Yeah.
Where is it? It's in core skill.
Actually, I can roll perception for y'all, I think. Somehow.
Well, I rolled it.
Somehow.
So
What am I
there.
meant to click to roll it?
It's this button right here.
Up here?
You're an expert at perception. That's really good. I'm only trained. But I have +4 wisdom, and you have +0 wisdom, so it kind of evens out. Actually, I'm better at it than you.
I am neither wise nor intelligent.
By the way, if you're thinking of getting a key for the employee entrance from an employee that's off work, I would say not to do that. Because if we get the key from that person, they may give somebody a heads up that we're coming.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can't hear you. I can't hear anybody. I think something went wrong with my sound.
You're bad. All right.
What's with the music?
What's this music? Okay, I can hear you guys now. There's lots of music.
Okay. The three of y'all, that is Father Azura, and Malcolm. You all notice that she goes into a side cabinet.
Corey, turn off
back
the
out.
music.
A couple moments later, holding what looks like a big bag and a hat. Actually a stack of hats. She walks into the room and goes, here's a few things you might be able to use. Keep the pouch and put all the gold in it, you hear? She slides over a bag. She'll hand the bag to the Father
I missed everything. Something went wrong with my sound. So
What do you mean? I just started talking. I waited until you said that you
Oh,
were
okay.
back and then started talking.
Okay.
So did you hear everything since
there was
since you said?
Something about a bag and a big stack of hats.
something.
Yeah, that's all I said.
Okay.
She walked away. Y'all three saw her walk into a room and then come back out with those things.
Okay. I'll take the bag then, and
She hands you a bag. I'm going to add it to your character sheet.
all right. I'll take a little peek, if that's okay.
Give me a do you have Arcana?
I think I do.
Anyone who has
No.
Arcana trained can give me an Arcana check.
I don't, I think.
Not I.
Oh, I'm trained, yeah.
I would be
No,
super
you have
surprised
to have it
if I
trained.
did. No, I don't have Arcana.
I don't got it. I ain't got the skill for it.
Nope.
So it should just be the Morgan then.
What do I need to do? Sorry?
You not hear me?
Or-
Anyone who has the
Arcana.
Arcana skill can roll Arcana when she pulls the bag out.
Sorry, I'm so
and the hats.
sleepy. I'm sipping on Red Bull even though it's 10 p.m. I was just staring dumbly at the screen, completely not here. Asleep with my eyes open.
Considering you're the
I know it's
third
not
person,
good,
you-
but
you-
I'm not used to starting games at 9 p.m.
I don't have it. Doesn't have it in the equipment. Why don't it? Oh, it doesn't have it. This is a bag of holding, but it doesn't. There's no bag of holding in any of the equipment or items. I don't know how the hell.
But it
doesn't
says that
have-
it's a bag of holding.
Yeah, it's a bag of holding. Type 1 bag of holding. But it's not in any of the compendium stuff. Bag.
If this is magic, I'd like to cast Read Aura, and then give the person with Arcana a +2 circumstance bonus.
Okay, you could have done that before she made the roll. She already made the roll.
Oh, well, her roll is really good anyways. I'm just saying, like, you kind of went too fast, and I was looking for stuff. We're still trying to figure this all of our jams out. So
Give me 1 second. I have to now search EF2E what a bag of holding type 1 does for you, so I can put it into your inventory.
I'll say that as part of this check, she also uses this spell, which I'm pretty sure is just kind of subtle. I don't know that anyone knows this is happening since it doesn't have any components, from what I can tell.
I don't see any spells having like classical components. What is concentrate, detection, manipulate, occult? This one's divine, exploration, manipulate.
The only thing that happens is, like, while she's examining the bag, her horn flares, like, white for a split second, and then it stops. I think that's what that says. Yeah, that's what that says.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had to do this on my own, but here you go. This is worth. It's a spacious pouch worth 75 gold pieces.
Spacious pouch.
Look at all this room for activities in here.
I added it to your character sheet, Corey. The bag of holding type 1.
Yes.
She hands that to you, and then she hands each of you a hat of disguise. Wow, they only have a hat of disagreeable disguise, not a regular hat of disguise. What the fuck? Hat of disguise.
We've got to be missing stuff on the compendium. That's
Yeah, I
gotta
think
be
we
what's
are.
happening. We're gonna have to figure it out later.
A
So do
hat
we just
of
add the hat of
disguise.
disagreeable disguise for now, but no, it's a
no.
normal one?
No. I found something that will work, but I need to now. Can I open it in the compendium?
Disagreeable disguise.
You said
What
you
does
put.
that even mean?
You said you put the. Oh, here it
It's
is.
a
Bag of
cursed
holding
hat
type
of
1.
disguise. It's really funny.
I don't even know what a
the-
hat of
the
disguise
masquerade
is.
scarf is actually a hat of disguise that I'm putting on everybody's character.
Okay.
I don't know why, but bag of holding should be a container, shouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's under my equipment, but it's not being a container.
Also, a bag of holding
Yeah,
always
because I
weighs
made it
the
as
same,
a
doesn't it?
something else. Container.
Masquerade scarf.
Now it's in my
Masquerade
containers.
scarf.
It's now you put the bag of holding in my backpack.
I put a backpack on a sheet and renamed it that.
Hold on, let me check something out here. We're gonna go to.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to redo this. Hold on.
This delicately embroidered scarf matches with every outfit and can even complete a costume or disguise with illusions.
Characters, journals.
Is it called a smuggler's sack now?
Smuggler's stack? I love the idea of a bag of holding.
Spacious pouch, type 1, type 1, right? You said spacious pouch, type 1?
Yeah.
That's it?
Spacious
Okay.
pouch type 1.
All you had to do was type that into the compendium search bar, and boom, now I have it. Spacious pouch, type 1.
It also
Compendium
says
search
smuggler's
bar?
sack is a bag of holding that looks like a sack.
Yeah. Spacious pouch type 1.
It's on my character sheet now, and it is a container,
Perfect.
and now I can put things in
It's
it.
just it's a spacious pouch, but it in the thing it's called a bag of holding. So I don't know why the names are different.
So it's a spacious pouch type
and
1.
instead of a hat of disguise, it's a masquerade scarf. But it's called a hat of disguise in the book, in the player's handbook. So everybody has a masquerade scarf now. Masquerade scarf can be used to cast like a disguise, a illusion spell called illusory disguise, which ends immediately if the scarf is removed. You can alter the scarf's appearance and make it invisible as part of the illusory disguise if you wish.
So Moore puts the scarf on, makes it invisible, and then looks at Phoebe and says, "Well, Phoebe, now you're earning your 50%. I take it we'll get to keep these after the job is done."
Look, here's a few things to make you might be able to make use of. Keep the pouch and put the gold in it. You hear? Otherwise, it'll slow you down. Put on the hat so you keep your identity secret, and don't muss them up. I'll be wanting them back when you're done. After that, she excuses herself from the table and heads back into the saloon because she has a job to do. Now you guys can plot your mission. From this point forward, there is exactly 12 hours from now until the bank reopens again the next morning.
All right. Put a clock in the bottom of the screen.
So
Beep.
that is
Boop.
that is the time that you have left. I don't know where the time thingy is on my screen. I don't see it anymore.
Right now it says 12 p.m. It's in the lower left-hand corner.
Lower left.
Do you see
corner?
the? Do
It's
you
not
see
on
the?
the
It's
lower
a
left-hand corner for
blue.
me.
It has a sun and it has a time under it, and you can change that clock, right?
It does not
It
show up.
doesn't
for me.
have it for him, and it didn't have it for me. There's a setting you have to turn on somewhere deep in settings, or it doesn't show. And it was really hard to find last time, so I don't know that you're going to be able to find it right now.
Interesting.
Clock? Where?
You don't have the clock either? No, you don't have the clock either.
I don't even
I don't
know
have the
where to
clock
look.
either. It, like I said, it's a setting.
World clock.
Oh, it shows up on top of your players list.
Oh, now you're moving the sun. The sun's going. Now it's turned into a moon. It's moon
6
o'clock.
PM. So it's six.
Uh-oh.
It should
Keep
be
your pants
6
on.
p.m. currently, right?
Right.
Okay. So 6 p.m. currently. That leaves you 12 hours till 6 in the morning when the bank opens again. That's when you'll need to hit the actual the actual bank. You have between now and then, not including the 8 hours of rest you're gonna want to get before your mission, to do it. So to do any prep or planning. I will say that there are a set of different tasks that you can do to prep for the heist. I will give you like a hint as to each one of them because y'all would know. Actually, you know what? Let me get thievery checks from everybody.
No.
Thievery. Here we go.
If you want to be part of the like planning process of jobs to hand out to plan the heist.
Hold on. Before everyone, oh my god.
Before everyone rolls.
Everyone else who hasn't rolled. Who hasn't rolled? Who else hasn't rolled?
I have not rolled.
I have
Crystal has not rolled. Victor has not rolled. Okay, Moore isn't going to say anything. So the Morgan isn't going to explain anything. She isn't going to say anything, but she's going to just very quickly touch each of your foreheads with 2 fingers, and then you will be able to assist each other on this skill check.
Okay.
So I am going. Is thievery recall knowledge actually?
This is not
a
a
core
recall
skill.
knowledge.
It's not recall knowledge. Okay, so then in that case, I will do a different thing that does something similar. Instead, you will get a +1 status bonus to the check.
Are you?
And you know what? I'll give it to Azura. I can only do one of you for that one.
Are you done with that, Sasha? Are you all done now?
Okay, so
Can I
it's
can I
just a
celebrate?
+1 bonus.
Can I celebrate my
What?
my incredible roll?
Hold on, I want to do this.
celebration time.
Oh,
There
You
we go.
interrupted my incredible roll.
Your incredible nat 20 that has a 1 in 20 chance of happening.
Exactly.
I'm so happy for you.
Okay,
Thank you.
wait, just look in the chat. Anybody who hasn't rolled, oh god.
Same person.
If you look in the chat, I put a prompt. From now on, whenever I'm going to ask for a check, I'm going to make it as a prompt. Y'all click the prompt that is appropriate for you.
Oh.
Make the skill check that way. Okay.
Oh, I see. That's
Alright.
cool.
Okay.
Love it.
That will be for going forward. Anybody else who wants to make the check, make it using that button.
It won't work for me, by the way.
Click the die button.
I'm clicking it and it won't work for me. Either. Actually, thievery works, but underworld lore, which I'm trying to roll, doesn't.
Probably because you don't have that skill.
I do have that
Oh
skill,
well, then
actually.
I have no idea.
That's why I'm trying to roll with that skill.
I'm gonna try clicking
Can I just
them
roll
just to
with it
see
on
what
my
happens.
character sheet?
Yeah, go ahead and roll with it on your character sheet. I
But-
think you need to have your tokens out That's
We'll
why.
just put up a pop-up
You
menu.
have to select your token.
Okay.
And then it'll, try selecting your token and pressing it, just as a
Okay, it did
token
bring up the pop-up
selected.
and I clicked thievery,
Still
but not
doesn't pop up,
underworld
I think.
lore.
I don't know why.
really.
Yep. Thievery does, Underworld Lore does not.
Weird. Okay, I don't know why the that isn't working.
Maybe it's lore underworld and not underworld lore. I don't know. Doesn't work for
It
me
worked.
either. But I don't have the skill.
All right, whatever. So, everyone who made a DC 15 or more. So Malcolm, you you're thinking in terms of thievery, right? You're like, okay, we could case the bank itself, which would be, as long as a couple people who were relatively stealthy went over there, they could probably keep an eye out for any details, maybe try to case the joint, find out information. And she did say that there was a bank employee that you might be able to find after hours, since it is after hours. Maybe you might be able to go around the saloons around here or in the area to see if you could locate that bank employee, and then maybe you could convince them to give you some information or stuff. The Father you have those same kind of ideas. If I was going to go about and be a thief for the day, here's what I would do. You also think, though, you might want to find out more information about the Wailing Scrapyard, considering that is a unknown that she didn't have much information to provide you about.
Uh-oh.
Doing this. So
you froze for a second. Can you repeat what you said after Wayland? I need to know stuff about the Wayland scrapyards and
the Wailing Scrapyards, because she didn't say much about that. That's an unknown. And then there are other types of preparations that you might want to make. So if you're wanting to gather information about specifics about the bank, the
yes,
the shield marshals in the area, what patrols look like, that kind of stuff, that would be a separate type of activity. And each one of these activities, you and Malcolm reason, would probably take you about 2 hours apiece. You have a limited amount of time to get all of this footwork done, so you might want to set up teams and have them approach these solutions in like a schedule to try to get the best advantage and best information you can about the gold tank reserve. So any action that y'all take to prep for the heist, you can take 2 hours. You have a total of 12 hours from now to get all of it done before you have to hit the bank.
I just want to say, this is the first game, and I'm feeling out my character, and maybe my character's voice shouldn't be this bit posh. Maybe it should sound like this. Maybe it should be, oh, Bri, she's my guiding light, she's my star.
The Southern.
Maybe I can do that.
Father is replaced by a slightly more southern version of Father.
Or I was thinking, since my name is and that's kind of like a little Belgian word. I could talk like this.
Father, sir.
Oh, you're back.
No, you're back.
Oh.
Yeah, everything went down. All internet just went out for me. I don't know what's
that
going
means
on.
the stream's dead.
But I was thinking maybe I could talk like this. And
are we back at all?
But the thing is then, how did I get this accent? I am from Alkenstar.
You're from another country.
No, I think my character's from Alkenstar. So I don't think that would be appropriate either. So maybe I'll bring it down. I'll bring it down. I'll be a little... I'll put a little soul into Father
Soul.
A little soul into him. Just so you know, there might be a little continuity issue with Father.
It's all right.
Maybe.
All right. So
you
we're
tell
back
me.
Live,
You tell me. Put it in the
I'm
comments.
seeing the
What voice do you like for Father? Tell me. I want to know.
Yeah. Do it. It looks like we're back. The stream seems to be running. So, what do y'all want to do to plan the heist? I suggest y'all take some time right now to plan out what you'd like to do. I gave y'all some specific options and some general options. Who wants to do what? What do y'all think you want to do? What approaches do you want to take to this?
So, how I see it is that we need to maybe break into a couple groups and do some footwork. Talk to some people, get to know people, and then maybe they can tell us a little bit about the situation that's before us. I feel like getting to know what the guards are like around the area, like going in there when the police, the city watch is at its furthest from it would be a good idea. I also feel that we don't know much about our escape route through the Wayland scrapyards, and maybe somebody knows a little more about it, especially this haunted rumor or this the people who use it as a home. And I also think we should check up
The
on
nail gobblers.
we should also check up on Urkham Dresh and see if there's anything we can use for leverage, so she'd be much more apt to help us. Maybe give us OOC give us hopefully a bonus to rolls and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Is anybody good at intimidating?
I have a little bit.
She has a little bit,
You're
guys.
actually
I'll go amount.
There are a few of y'all that are really good at this.
I don't know what the bonuses are on intimidation. Oh, okay, it's charisma.
It's obviously
based.
charisma.
You are the best at this, by the way, Crystal.
I have a +5.
She growls and bares her teeth, and everyone thinks she has rabies. That's fucking terrifying.
Oh, just so y'all know, I can actually turn into a fox.
Hot.
What
does the fox say?
Whatever she feels like.
Just foam
She
at the
ain't
mouth.
too good at saying human-like words, though.
So, splitting into groups, y'all want to do that?
So this is a time sensitive situation y'all got. There's 4 hours till dark when y'all need to get to bed. So basically, if y'all are planning on sleeping a full 8 hours, y'all have 4 hours to get all this done, which means 2 tasks per person.
2 tasks.
If y'all are willing to give up some of your sleep, you can go a little further. If you get if you get fewer than 4 hours, like if you get 4 hours or less sleep in the night, you will have a level of exhaustion for the next day.
I have a question that I'm going to ask to all of my compatriots. Can anybody speak to goblins? There are nail gobblers and there are goblins. Can anybody speak on their level?
Not me.
Do goblins have a separate language from Orcish?
They have goblin,
I'm sure they speak the common tongue as well.
which none of y'all speak goblin.
None of us.
I don't think anyone
Just thought I'd
does.
ask.
Well, some of y'all speak Fey, which
Is there something I can help you with, sweetie?
you go potty. Just hungry? I think my
Guess
dog's
not.
hungry.
Feed him while they debate over the fine points of goblinism.
But most goblins speak common.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, most goblins speak common.
And that's what I said already.
Uh-huh.
Just checking. It might, So I'm
I
ready
mean,
to
it
go
won't
out.
help us if they're trying to talk shit right next to us.
I'm ready to go out and do some gather information checks. So if anybody wants to come with me, you're free to. I'm putting on my scarf of disguise, so I look like I don't know.
A priest of another religion. Priest of another faith.
Gathering information.
Whoever Bry's enemies are, you look like that guy, and then do all your crime looking like that. No one will ever guess.
So gathering information is one thing that you can do. Go, out. Thank you. I turned on the air too because it's getting super hot.
Yes, I know gather information is something I can do. You've said it like 5 times.
Gathering information is one of the things you can do. I just need to know what what information you're trying to gather and what your approach is. Is anyone wanting to case the bank, like actually go physically and scout the bank?
I'd like to do that.
Malcolm might like that.
Either that or the scrapyard. We should know where we're going when we leave.
Okay, that's another thing. Who would like to go to the scrapyard?
Actually, I think scrapyard's gonna be me.
Okay, you're gonna go scrapyard. Malcolm, you want to case the building?
Yes.
Anyone else want to case the building? Logan,
Okay.
you're muted.
Oh, wait, we can do more
Man,
than
that would
one
explain a
thing,
lot. I
can't
don't know how
we?
long I've been muted.
Yeah.
Yes, the barber would like to go, not necessarily case the inside of the bank, of course, but
It's closed,
just look
right?
for... Yeah, I guess it is closed right now, huh? Looking for vantage points. He's looking for a place where he can possibly engage the constructs and draw them outside.
Without risking your sleep, everybody can do 2 actions. Let me ask it this way. How many people want to have one of those actions be casing the bank?
Okay, so you 2 guys.
I will say there is a lot you can find out by casing the bank.
Yeah. I think
I'm
the
gonna
bank
talk
is
to
gonna...
the off-duty employee.
Okay. Crystal?
I think going to the bank is the #1 most important thing, so if any place should get more attention, it's the bank. So I'll go there and the scrapyard.
And then you want to go to the scrapyard?
Yeah.
Okay. Corey, you want to go and do information gathering
Yes.
that's not at the bank and not with the bank employee, right?
Yes.
So what exactly do you want to do?
So, first off, we're gonna find out about the Wayland, the
So you do scrapyard too.
Yes.
Cool. So you and Azura are gonna go to scrapyard, together. What else would you like to do?
I also want to get information on
Like the guards, the shield marshals?
Urkham Dresh.
Urkham Dresh. Okay, Urkham Dresh. All right. We have that's basically 4 hours for everybody except for Sasha.
I have something else I want to do for the
Well,
last hour.
the thing here's the thing. Finding the bank employee, you don't know where he is, and then you have to find him and then potentially interrogate him. So that
Okay.
could be 2 different tasks.
So then, if I have to do like a search or like a
It would be a gather
information, then I
kind
can
of
do
thing.
that. The last thing I want to do only takes an hour instead of 2, so maybe I'll just do that at the end anyway.
Okay, cool.
Sasha, remember, my character warned your character about doing something like this.
I know, and my character is going to ignore that warning.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right.
Just making sure.
So here's what I want. Everybody who's going to case the bank. Let me do this. Let me see if actually okay, I can't do the stupid things. It wasn't working. I'll have to figure out by next time how this will work. But anyone who's going to case the physical location, give me either a perception check or a thievery check.
Ooh. I actually have the same modifier for both of them.
Oh, barely rolled off the nat 20.
It rolled onto the 20 twice and then went onto the 2. That was sad.
As is many of my rolls.
I'll do perception.
Logan, you only mentioned one activity, which is casing the bank. Do you want to try doing that for a full 4 hours? Because then you get 2 checks.
Yeah, that's probably what he's gonna go with.
Okay, and like I said, you can do perception or thievery, whichever one.
Yes, roll versus boredom.
I'll wait for everyone else to get
A
their
will
rolls
check.
in, and then I'll roll my thievery again.
Yeah, will check.
And if you use smartphones, it's at disadvantage. For short attention span.
Oh,
First.
Okay.
Oh.
Use a
Let me
hero
roll
point. We got hero
some
points,
things over
guys.
here.
Oh,
I would like
a
to.
thing for re-rolling.
I would like to point out that at the beginning of every game, we get 1 hero point that replaces the 1 hero point that we get every game. So we still get 1. And I'd like to remind the narrator that he can give out hero points to us for being, I don't know, there's a couple criteria within the book, but it's your prerogative and you should do such a thing.
I should. When people
Should
do
you see
something that
fit?
meet the criteria, I will.
Do we get a hero point anytime someone rolls a natural 1, or only the first time a session?
No,
I think you just always start with 1.
you start the
every
game.
session.
You start every game session
You
with
start
1
every session with
at
one.
least 1
Which,
hero point.
which is on your character sheet. You should already have them listed on your character
I believe all of your
I
hero
added
points go away at the end of a session, and you start a new session with 1 hero
with
point.
1.
But why did you say we get a hero point when he rolled a 1 then?
No, that everybody gets 1 to start.
I
is what
said
we said.
you can, since you rolled a 1, you can re-roll that with a hero point.
Oh.
Got it.
So it's like inspiration, but you can only reroll natural 1?
No, you can
You
re-roll
only
any roll.
re-roll-
Okay.
You can only re-roll a die. You can't give yourself advantage. Put it that way.
There's no advantage in this game. This
And
is
does
not.
everyone
it's
get their
Pathfinder.
own hero point?
Yeah, you have it
this
on
is
your
not
character sheet.
shared,
Look at your
right?
character sheet.
I
You
will-
have-
I'm understanding that. I'm trying to understand if we have to share them. Like
no,
in Cypher.
each one gets 1. You have a pool. Each person has a pool of up to 3. It should be
Think
right
of them
underneath
like
your
your
character's
void
name on
I
your
see
character
that.
sheet. Everyone should start with 1. I already added them to your character sheet.
Cool. then I'm
Are they
gonna
only for doing
burn
re-rolls?
There's other things I think you can do with them as well. Let me double check.
I'm,
I know we have
spending that
books,
hero
Corey.
point to get a reroll so I can try to get higher than almost minimum.
Hero point. Earth. Force open.
Hey, there we go.
Hero point. These points last only within
Reroll a
session,
check. Spend all your hero points to avoid death.
or all your hero points to avoid dying.
All of your hero
You can
points, no
get
matter
hero
how many
points
you have.
for
Looks like
for describing heroic deeds.
413. Because spending hero points reflect heroic deeds or tasks that surpass normal expectations, if you spend a hero point, you should describe the deed or task the character accomplishes with it to other players. The deed might invoke
So,
a lesson
you
learned
spend-
in the past adventure, could be spurred by a determination to save someone else. What I'm saying is, Logan, describe how the hero point makes you a better thief.
Trying to
He
figure out
actually
how
remembers to
fit in
use
this
his
context.
scarf this time.
He starts
Um,
running around the street like Gronk from.
He I don't know. I had
Quick,
to actually
make up a
roleplay. I wouldn't have spent
history
the
about
point.
how you learned thievery and how it's inspiring you today to be a better thief.
OMG, Corey, let him think.
He's gonna just kind of catch himself in the moment, almost panicking, and catching himself off guard a little bit with that, and realizing that this is something he's done before. He's cased plenty of places, and there is a, of course, method that he's developed to help aid in these endeavors. and he just kind of goes back to his roots and takes a step back, slows down, and tries to focus on the little details.
Okay. So I'm going to start with Logan. Logan, you initially casing around the joints in the Ironside quarter is way creepier than you thought. It's quiet, like eerily quiet, and the only things that you notice out on the streets are these flaming lights, like these like bright orange lights from the flaming heads of the automatons that patrol the streets. You notice though, after you've kind of centered yourself again and stopped freaking out trying to get too close to these patrollers, which you remember Azura mentioning that they have 360-degree vision as they patrol around. They can see everything around them all of the time. You hang back. You find yourself slinking into a couple of the buildings around the bank, and as you do so, you realize that at least half of the buildings in the entire neighborhood are completely abandoned, and that any ruckus at the bank is very unlikely to draw any immediate attention of the shield marshals or other outside interlopers. So you'd probably have a good amount of time once conflict starts to get everything wrapped up and get out of there if you're smart and stay focused. Victor.
Yes.
Malcolm notices that this bank is indeed an old temple to Abadar, and inside, inside of the building, the outer walls are solid stonework, and there's a domed ceiling of the main chamber that is slightly cracked. However, each entrance has new wooden doors on them with what appear to be fairly simple locks.
Mm. So like the dome has sorry, let me just clarify. These simple locks are like on the windows of the dome, or like where are they located?
The simple locks are on the doors for each entrance of the building. The old temple has like what you can imagine was originally stone doors to fit the stone architecture. However, now they've been retrofitted with wooden doors, like brand new, nicely designed wooden doors with very simplistic locking mechanisms on each door. Azura, you remember that the father had suggested checking out the back alley and the staff entrance. So the back of the bank features an overgrown yard that may have once housed a vegetable garden, but is now little more than overgrown weeds and an accumulation of dried leaves. Any activity in the leaf-strewn yard is likely to draw attention. A pathway leads to a side door marked staff only. This door is locked with a simple lock. You also note that 3 clockwork handlers patrol the interior of the bank and can occasionally be seen through the window. They stop in various locations and open a shutter on their head that reveals a very bright orange light, and it slowly rotates their head in a complete circle before they move on.
What you want to do is to defeat them, you just blow it out.
I know, right?
Maybe. Okay. That is all the information you guys are able to gather from your time out there staking out the place. We'll move on to finding the bank employee. Morgan, how do you want to go about doing this?
I think you said it would need to be a gather information check, right?
To start out, you'd probably want to do a gather information check to find out where to find this teller, or this like employee. To do so, give me a diplomacy gather information check.
Can I give myself guidance for this since I know I'm gonna do it?
Depends. How does guidance work?
Um,
Can you
it
post it in
gives
the
me a
chat
+1 status bonus to the check.
as a spell?
Yes.
Yeah, you can guidance yourself.
So that would be, so it's going to be whatever this is +1. Where did it go? Actions, diplomacy. Oh, I can actually put a +1 status add. Oh, why did it do that? I can't even see what my roll is. Can you see what my roll is?
23.
Why did that happen? Oh, I don't get to know because I clicked it from the thing. I don't know. I clicked it from the diplomacy box.
Yeah, because it rolled as a secret roll.
Okay, if I'm not supposed to know, then
Okay.
I guess I didn't do anything wrong.
You are able to identify. So what you do, you go to a bunch of different saloons in the area and other establishments that are around the Gold Tank Reserve, and you find information from a bunch of the people who are drinking around there. You have to spend some time drinking and carousing with some of the people. People who are more like of a hoi polloi status than you're used to, like bumping elbows with. They are not really the like upper crust of society. Let's put it that way. But there is a goblin who tells you that, yeah, I know that teller. His name's Bryn. He's a human. He's brooding over at the Barrel and Bullet right now. He's upset. He was recently passed over for a huge promotion over at the bank. What a sucker, right?
Truly.
You gotta.
Okay, so then
I love how the scene went. It gave me whiplash a little. You gotta go drinking, carousing with some high fly, hoity-toity people, and a goblin comes up.
The exact opposite. I said they are the hoi polloi, which means the like average like daily laborers.
Oh, hoi
not the people you're used to.
Not hoity-toity.
Not the people that you're used to bumping elbows with, who are the high society, upper crust of society. She's used to dealing with. It was the exact opposite.
It was the exact opposite. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So you head back to the Barrel
So he's
and
at
Bullet.
the Barrel and Bullet, and he got passed over for a promotion recently.
Yeah, at the bank.
Did the goblin didn't say why though? Just he
didn't say why.
He's all sullen about
But
it.
he's really brooding about it, getting drunk at the Barrel and Bullet.
Okay.
And it's recent. He recently got passed over for it. Very like you can imagine, probably within the last day or two.
Yeah, because he's currently at the bar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he could be one of those guys who just hangs out there every day for the next like month. He's so bent out of shape about it. But
so you head over to the Barrel and Bullet, and you get a description of what this guy looks like.
This is where we were before.
Yes, this is Phoebe's bar. You get a description of the man. He looks like this, and you spot him at the Barrel and Bullet.
The Morgan will use this, like, be using the scarf to kind of just make herself look like a slightly less, like, obvious version of herself. So instead of being like the Nephilim appearance that she has, she'll just have the same exact proportions and everything, same body type, but elven features instead.
So no hooves,
no hooves, no horn, no weird ears, normal eye color, no blue skin, just like similar but without everything that makes her unique.
That guy looks like he's 24 hours away from becoming a Batman villain.
Yeah.
Very cranky.
Just call him
Give
the
me
accountant.
a sense motive check.
I would love to give you a sense motive check.
As you spot Bryn from across the bar.
I would love to give you a sense motive check. Where is that?
It's in your actions, and it could be in your skill. It's a part of, I think, perception.
I was fired as an accountant because I put the decimal place 1
If you look
point
into your
over.
actions-
Now the
Yes.
city
Encounter
will have a
actions.
decimal point on it. The decimal
it's
will
an encounter
rise.
It's an encounter action. It's a perception skill check.
Is encounter?
Actually, you should be
Decimate
making it
the
as a
city.
secret goal.
Yes, he decimates the
um,
city.
Perception. I'm gonna turn that on,
Literally.
and then I think it's just gonna do it says blind GM roll. So
Yeah,
you want me to
blind
just leave
GM
that
roll.
on?
Yep.
Okay. And I would also like to know what his throughout the conversation, if his general mental state
I'm
changes.
sending you
let me know.
information based on what you've determined.
Mhm.
And
But I mean outside of that, with the other thing.
if anything changes, I'll give you a heads up. So what do you do?
Okay. What's he drinking right now?
A giant mug of beer. You can see there's multiple mugs around his table yet to be cleaned up.
Okay. She'll go and sit down next to him and order him another mug of beer when he looks like he's getting low on his current one.
He looks up and goes, "Ha, what are you doing here? Obviously, someone like you would have no interest in someone like me."
Well, I recognized you from the bank,
Huh.
and I just thought maybe we could drown our sorrows together, she says sullenly.
Interesting. I don't know that I recognize you from the bank.
Oh, you wouldn't. I recently applied. They wouldn't take me.
Oh. Not in the good graces of Ambrose, huh?
No. Honestly, Ambrose is a bit of a dick. Excuse my language.
You could say that again. So much viciousness in such a tiny fucking package.
Yeah. Makes you wonder what exactly happened to him in life to make him quite so unpleasant.
Well, you'd imagine that he'd be stepping in cow shit every 5 steps for how much of an asshole he is to everybody around.
Look at you.
And let me just tell you this much. He kind of smells like cow shit too when he comes around. Little bastard.
Look at you. You look very wizened. I assume Ambrose stiffed you too.
Tell you this much. I've been a teller for this asshole for 15 years. 15 years of my life
15 years?
wasted under this
Wasted.
bastard. That goddamn dwarven manager. She gets all of the fucking glory. I do all the work. I keep all the keys. I do all the inventory. I make customers happy. I set up the account. And do I get anything to show for it? Nothing. I just get told that I also need to start mopping and brushing and brooming the floors every night. What kind of asshole do they think I am?
We make a copper, they make a gold, right?
God damn it.
She'll like slide the beer over to him. Let him drink a little more.
So what do you want?
Oh, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really know what to do anymore. I thought I had this job all lined up, and now, because of someone's pettiness and clear inability to see what true talent is in front of him, and she like kind of gestures to him. I guess now we're both out of luck, huh?
What kind of job you got?
Well, I've been pretty good at mathematics, so I was hoping to be a teller.
So you were trying to apply for a job at the bank?
That's what she started out with saying. She said, "You wouldn't know me, but I've seen you around. I tried to apply for a job and got turned down."
Yeah. He thought you meant you were applying for a account. That's why.
No, like I said, I was trying to work there.
Oh, yeah, no. Nobody gets hired at the bank. It's just us. Unless I got a new job, in which case, then maybe they'd have a new spot for a teller.
Well, from what I had heard, there was going to be a promotion, and so a new spot was opening up.
Bastard didn't promote me. That goddamn bitch, Dresh.
It almost
She just
makes
sits in her goddamn office all day long. And what does she do? Not a goddamn thing.
it almost
She doesn't know her fucking head from her butthole. Okay? Okay? She's fucking tiny. She can't even see over her desk half the time. How's she gonna tell if anybody's even causing a ruckus? Okay? I can rob that place. And they wouldn't even know about it. Because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
it almost makes you wish you could, doesn't it?
I
Just
would
to get back
embezzle
at
from them
them.
if I knew that bastard Ambrose wouldn't figure it out.
Is he that quick-witted, you think?
He's got that as his only advantage. Let me tell you that much. Trying to be 2 steps ahead of everybody. 2 steps ahead in the goddamn mud is all I can do.
What a bastard. He'd deserve it too, you know.
He would. He would deserve it.
It's a shame that there's nothing that 2 people like us can do about it, is there?
Make me a diplomacy check.
I shall.
Dude has a plan.
I'm assuming you're trying to push him toward.
I'm trying to push him toward like being like, well, I could. It's
Tell me this. Are you trying to like manipulate him into doing this, or are you do you plan on like being open and honest with him about what you want to do?
So where I'm going with this is I want it to be his idea. Like, oh, I can't rob the bank, but if you're so bent out of shape about this, why don't you stick it to the boss?
But like, are you because
Sasha, he already said that. He already said like, I have the perfect way to do it. Just ask him how.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. How would you do it?
Well, if you were gonna.
I mean, I want his key. Like, that's
if you want
what
his
I want from
keys,
him.
he said he has all the keys.
Yeah, I want his keys from him.
keys-
But I'm trying to make him like offer them to me because he's super drunk, and I'm trying to like commiserate with him and be like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I got
not
that
trying to
all.
have him directly offer my. Corey, can you stop for a second, please?
Okay.
I'm not trying to have him like be like, oh yeah, let me just give you my keys. But I'm trying to have him think that way so that I can push him toward having that idea, and then I can take.
But
I
are
can
you
get
basically what I'm
motivation
asking
to
you
take this.
is, are you willing to, like, are you trying to like manipulate him fully into this without revealing your hand completely, or are you willing to be like, I kind of think I could do this if I had an opportunity. All I would need is the opportunity, kind of thing.
It's the
being
second
honest.
one.
Okay, then make me a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Again, hidden. Give me a GM roll.
Okay.
And this is for the make an impression action.
Make an impression.
Well, you have
It's
the
a
silly
it's
putty.
a action
I
under
have
the
silly
diplomacy
putty.
skill.
Those make
Okay.
impressions.
It's
Can I
supposed
give
to
myself
glow in the
guidance for
dark,
this as
but
well?
it's too light.
But like I said, I don't think
You
it
could. He's drunk enough that he might not notice you doing a one action guidance,
I'm gonna do it.
considering it only requires a what kind of
Oh, it rolled openly. I don't know why I did that, but
17. All right, so here's how this kind of plays out. You kind of go back and
it's
forth,
18 by the way. It
kind
didn't
of
roll correctly.
kind of leading
But
him
yeah.
forward along this path, and then you get to the point where you're basically like, I wouldn't mind taking that kind of a risk if it was me, because I don't have anything to lose.
I don't have
at
a
the bank.
job. I don't
Yeah.
have anything to lose.
And he basically is like, you're willing to put one over on him?
I mean, wouldn't you if you had the chance?
He goes, okay, look. He looks around. There's like a bunch of people around Joe, but they're all talking really loud. Nobody seems to be paying y'all much mind. And he leans forward and onto the on the table, getting real close to you. And he's like, I have to carry the keys with me at all times. The key to the door, half wall, the key to the outside doors, the key to the teller station, and then one of the two keys needed to get into the vault. And I'm so bent out of shape that maybe I'll just keep drinking and black out here. It'd be a shame if somebody knew about the keys in my pocket and was able to just take them on my unconscious body at the end of the night.
Very nervous to reach into his pocket.
He's such a terrible thing, you know what I'm saying? He's elbowing you really hard, like uncomfortably hard. Because he doesn't
Wink,
realize
wink.
he's just so
He's gonna be bruised later, clutching her arm a little bit.
And he laughs, giggles, and then drinks, and then giggles some more. And you see he get woozy, and then his face slams forward, and a bunch of the cups, the mugs on the table, wobble and then fall over and spill onto the floor.
She's gonna does anyone seem to notice when this happens, or is this
everybody
such a common
looks
occurrence?
and is like, what the fuck? But they're more distracted by the loud noise of all the glasses falling and breaking, and then people coming over to try cleaning it up, and there's a distraction there for a moment.
So she's gonna snag the keys from his pocket while no one's kind of watching, and then be like, my friend here seems to have had way too much to drink. Could someone make sure he gets home safe when he wakes up?
Everybody looks over and is completely uninterested, and then
perfect. That's exactly perfect. Somebody's everyone's fuck no,
do you want to give me a gold piece, and then maybe I'll make sure he gets home safe?
No, I was saying that so that people would lose interest in being near us. Fuck no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody wants to take responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. That takes you about 4 hours. All in all, getting back to wherever you're gonna rest for the night. Okay, let's move on to the Wailing Scrapyard. Crystal, you meet up with Father in the middle of the night, or the middle of the evening, I should say, to start looking around or asking around about the Wailing Scrapyard. How do y'all want to go about doing this?
Oh, well, there was pictures in the bar of goblins hanging around there. So I figure we start asking with some of the goblin brethren, and maybe they can point us in the right direction of people who know more about.
Give me a gather information check, Corey. Diplomacy.
No problem. And I will cast guidance as well on myself. Something I was going to do to myself and anybody who teamed up with me was my plan all along.
Crystal, if you want, you can take the aid action. If you want to be helping out, it will add another +1 to the check. You have to make me a diplomacy check to do so. It'll be at a lower DC than the DC that it would take for him to succeed the check.
So I need to
but
make
it will
a
give him a
diplomacy
+1
check.
to the check if you'd like to do so.
Diplomancy. Wow, that's a good die.
You are able to add another +1 to Corey.
All right, I get circumstance bonuses of +2 then.
Yep.
Okay, I have no idea what happened. Did it give me that +2 circumstance bonus on the die roll? I don't know. It doesn't say what all my. It should be a charisma +3 and a diplomacy.
It did not, but I will take that into consideration.
Okay.
Okay. You're able to ask around some of the goblins in the Barrel and Bullet Saloon. You then get sent from those goblins to a couple tinkerers who work nearby. They send you to a waste disposal service. The waste disposal service then sends you to a junk shop. And after going to all these different places, you and Crystal both are able to find that the Wailing Scrapyard is home, indeed, to the Nail Gobblers, a group of goblin scavengers who live off the junkyard's bounty of scrap and waste, and sometimes sell goods salvaged to the city's junk shops and tinkerers. You also learn that a mournful wailing can be heard coming from the scrapyard late at night, hence the ominous nickname it's given. Locals insist a hulking ghost made of scrap metal floats around the scrapyard when the moon is dark. You also are able to learn with Crystal's assistance,
All right.
as y'all kind of negotiate with some of these junk shops for more information, like press them on, well, what's really going on there? They're like, there is a family of gnolls who live nearby inside of the Wailing scrapyard. They're called sludge spines. I'll write down these names. The nail gobblers
spines
are the goblins who
sludge
live
spine.
in the
Did you say gnolls?
scrapyard.
Yes,
Yeah.
gnolls.
All right.
Sludge spines. Evil gnolls who live in the
Evil gnolls.
Well, mostly, yeah. I mean, you would think.
They supposedly launch forays into the city and hunt victims for use in whatever nefarious foul purposes they might have. And that's in addition to what these people are saying about hulking ghosts made out of scrap metal.
Right.
Who you hear about.
So, then my big question is, how do we signal to the nail gobblers that we're either passing through or we want to trade, or are
They will tell you that the nail gobblers are pretty open to trade. They live pretty close to the front entrance of the Wailing scrapyard, which you can see if y'all go to, like, I'll say Azura saw when she was casing out the bank down the alleyway that she was like lurking in. She saw the entrance to the Wailing scrapyard, and near the front entrance of the Wailing scrapyard is where the nail gobblers are.
So then my second
And
question.
they have maps that they can give you of the area and of the sewer system.
Cool.
That will help you get that.
I was about to say if I could trade them information on like getting through the scrapyard to the sewer in the quickest way possible, but hey, they'll give us maps and stuff, and
They will barter for it. They won't just give it to you.
I know
but
that's
you
what I
can-
meant. Yes,
Yeah, exactly. You can get that kind of information out of them easily.
What are they?
And because you've made good friends with the tinkerers here, they'll give you kind of like a good name.
What are they trading?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Scrap.
ask.
Scrap and tinker tools. So if you're looking to craft things and you need materials, they will have all kinds of materials that they can trade.
No, I mean,
What do they like to be paid with?
Exactly.
Do they want money or do
Money.
they want something? Okay,
Money and
that's
scrap.
easy.
Money and scrap.
Money and scrap.
Like anything that they can salvage, and then money. Like money. Always money. Everything's money.
Promise
I
them
They
the
need-
scrap
they
of
need
the
money.
automatons
be
we
good
beat
with
up later.
money.
Yeah, you could definitely, like, 100%. Azura and Father though he may have qualms about this, would know 100% if y'all brought the scrap of the automatons, if y'all had to knock a couple loose and drag them into the Wailing scrapyard, they would accept that as payment. 100%.
Cool. Can we talk to
Those
them
are good options.
beforehand? Can we just go talk to them right now and set this whole thing up?
You could, but you did also hear that there are scary things that come out at night in the Wailing scrapyard.
Right.
So
Okay.
if you would like to risk that, 100%, you can go and talk to them.
All right. I guess that's our warning.
So I want to ask.
Yeah, any other questions that you'll have about the Wailing scrapyard, I'm happy
Well,
to answer.
it sounds like it can be a dangerous place at night. Is it mostly safe during the day? You know, other than the obvious of sharp things and falling scrap and whatnot.
The area is hard to navigate because it's filled with all kinds of junk and scrap all over the place. There are potentially like monstrous things inside of there, rumored to be there, like the sludge spines. There are also rumors that there could be other kinds of monsters there, including ghosts and ghouls and gobbledygooks that will come out and attack you if you stray off the paths too much. But um, they insist that as long as you stay on the good side of the nail gobblers, you'll probably be fine.
Is there
There's also hazards like this is old junk. So some of the waste collectors will tell you that um, things like tetanus or other diseases from uncleanliness in the area or rust in the area is
Well-
also potentially a concern.
Yeah, that's the most obvious concern going
It-
into a scrapyard.
is
The
there-
fact that it's a dangerous environment just because of
Oh.
all the piles of junk.
They will also warn that there is a giant tower of trash in the scrapyard, which could also cause problems because it's very precarious, and they just keep throwing more stuff into the trash tower.
right? So is there a way to summon the nail gobblers? That hey, I'm
nail
here to
They
goblins.
trade.
said they hang out
There-
right by
there-
the entrance.
There is a
Oh.
camp. They say there is a you'll see a ring of old crates surrounding a makeshift campfire in a corner of the junkyard near the front. And as long as you go in there, you should be able to and like call out who you are and that you're looking for the nail gobblers. You should be fine. They
Sound
won't
good.
attack you. They're not very vicious or like angry people. They're looking to trade. They're traders.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you for
Oh,
all of your
um,
help.
Tell them look for a guy named Gomac. They'll tell you. And tell them that the Tinker sent you.
Look for Gomac. Tell him the Tinker. Gotcha.
And don't push them too hard, or the Lord Glass might get a bit.
Yes. Be nice.
You know,
Naturally, I'm the
Glass
nicest
doesn't like
person
people
you'll ever
who try to
meet.
take-
I-
Lord Glass doesn't like when people try to take advantage of him or his nail gobblers.
Aw. What a nice chap. Okay, well, thank you for everything. I think we should get back.
Yes,
You,
it is getting late.
and I need to go back in time and do the other gather information check.
Yes, you do. Okay, so you want to get information on
What's her name?
Dresh.
Yes, Andresh.
Okay. How do you want to go about doing that? I know you want to gather information, but where are you going to gather information on Arkham Dresh?
Well, the thing is that Dunsmith doesn't know where Dresh hangs out, does she? Where she drinks, what her bar is. What's the bar that all of the Ironside Quarter people go to? Does she live in the Ironside Quarter, or does she live like in Steamhaven or something?
Give me a second to take a look.
The Ustrati Heights. Being in charge of the bank, I would assume she commutes.
She works for him in the Ironside Quarter.
Yes.
She lives in Ustrati Heights,
Got it.
which is a slightly nicer area of the smoke side.
That's what I figured.
She does commute all the way into Ironside Quarter, and there is bars throughout Smokeside and inside of the Ironside Quarter where she frequents. She, however, does not frequent the Barrel and the Bullet.
I figured she stomps around the Ustrati Heights and only goes to Ironside Quarter to work, being the bank manager and all.
Exactly.
Right. So it's off.
So every once in a while, she has to go to places inside the Ironside Quarter, mostly
she
for
does
reasons
still
that you're
live
not
in
aware
Smoke Side.
of.
Yeah.
But you can give me either a society check to find out more information about her. You could also give me a gather information check, diplomacy, to try to
Yeah,
find out.
we can do gather information. That sounds like a good idea. I'm still on gather information active, so I'll just do that again. Of course, I will cast me some guidance. So it is a cantrip, but I can just keep doing that. So I'll hit the diplomacy. Circumstance +1. Add. Okay, that should have done it. That's how you do. You have to click the add button next to it. Okay, and I'll hit the roll button. And fate take my hand.
Okay.
Jesus, take the
All
wheel.
you're able to find out about Dresh is that she keeps to herself. She keeps a very low profile. People call her cowardly, but she puts on like a very like well-to-do and stern front. But nobody knows exactly where she lives or who else she associates with besides Mugland. But there is rumors that her and Muglin aren't always on like the same
Good
on,
terms.
on
She-
good terms. Yeah.
So she isn't married. She doesn't have kids.
No married, no kids, no like interesting spouses or boyfriends, no family that people are aware of. She seems to be a miserly old dwarven woman who works at this bank for a crime lord. And that is about as much as you can get out of
That's not
information
nothing.
finding on Erkrim Dresh.
That's not nothing, though.
It ain't nothing.
No, that's something we can work with.
Nothing.
Like, does this person really want to die alone for this bank?
People call her a craven skinflint. I'm not even sure what that means, but you find multiple people who will refer to her as a craven skinflint. That
Well,
craven skinflint Erkindresh.
Do you not know what skinflint means?
I don't know what a skinflint means.
So
no.
a skinflint is somebody who is very tight with their coin, right? They're the kind of person who will, even though they're rich, they will cut every coupon they find. You know, that
So
kind
it's
of
just
person.
another
That should
word
tell
for
you. Then that should
miser.
tell you
I
exactly
haven't
what kind of
heard that
person she
one.
is.
Skinflint. Yes.
Everybody is also able to. Everybody who went to the bank to look in the bank will also know the ceilings of the bank are about 15 feet tall, except for the dome, which goes up another 5 feet. There is a crack in the dome. The walls are all made of carved stone slabs. The doors are standard wood. At night, the building was dark except for the lanterns inside of the clockwork brokers that patrol the interior. Daytime hours, the rooms are full of bright light streaming in through the windows and lit from inside. And you can assume that you saw 3, but you can assume that there will be at least 6 of the constructs inside the bank tomorrow morning.
So I have a plan. It's going to involve all of us, okay? So I'm going to get some powder, some like flour, and some chains, right? And Sasha, I want your character, I'm going to cast light on you and maybe shrink and
You don't
maybe
need to
like...
cast light on me. I can emit my own light.
And then what's his name? The barber. We're going to put like
Why are we shrinking me?
we're gonna put wreaths of mistletoe around your head and put
Oh,
like
God,
a
you're
pillow
doing the-
up you,
The
right?
Christmas story.
And
What
then
is happening? Am I
He's doing
supposed to
the
be a
ghost of
fucking
Christmas,
elf?
And
the
then-
ghost of Christmas past, and the ghost of Christmas future, and the ghost of
we're
Christmas.
gonna turn her life around, baby. We're doing this tonight.
It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
I'm
He's
I'm
doing
lost.
the Scrooge thing. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Malcolm, we're getting you a cloak and a skull mask. This is
Why am I being shrunk though?
y'all are all
Someone
ghosts.
explain that.
Yeah.
well because you have to be childlike.
Alright.
No.
Let's.
Morgan has giant boobs.
We're gonna-
What childish?
We gotta shrink you down. That's why we're shrinking you.
You'll just be a
As
shrinked
if
up.
the boobs just go away.
You're very
stay
focused on
proportional
these
here.
boobs.
No, I'm very focused on why you think my character, who is very much looks like a woman, would look childish just because she got tinier.
Okay, so Crystal can transform into a fox. We can put it in like Victorian clothing, cast light on her. Okay, she can be the ghost of Christmas past.
No.
Sure. Okay, so y'all all
This plan is a nightmare.
return back to the barrel and the bullet before y'all retire for the evening to kind of disseminate the information that y'all have gathered so far. And you have a little bit of time to try to make a plan before you break for the evening. It is
Honestly-
also 11 o'clock. Do we want to continue going for a little bit longer?
No, I need to sleep.
We're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay,
think
then
we're good.
then at the beginning of next game, y'all will be able to come up with a plan of action for how you want to go about doing the assault. You've gathered all the information you should need so far. I would like y'all to think about what you want to do in terms of setting off the heist. And tomorrow, when we come back next week, we will be starting off the game with you guys executing your plan.
You know what I
Sasha, we can do your harrowing whenever, maybe sometime this week.
You know what I forgot to do for you, Tarek? I forgot to write you an outro.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what to say? Do you know how to end a live stream here?
Thank you all for coming tonight to watch us play Outlaws of Alkenstar. We have been the Dead Unicorn Club. On behalf of myself, Logan, Crystal, Victor, Corey, and Sasha, we'd like to thank you all and go roll some dice.